Hello children, how have you been? Hope all good? Okay, so I'm back with my next video. Okay, before we move forward, I will go through what we did on the last day. A little bit of it, okay? We learned about proverbs, about figurative expressions. We learned about first person narrative, third person narrative, and personal pronouns and the possessive adjectives and the possessive pronouns used against them. Okay, we had a deep insight to each of these topics. All right, I hope you're ready to go with today's lesson. Yeah, okay. I will narrate you a story today, okay, similar to the ant and the grasshopper. Just remember the characters you had in the story, the ant and the grasshopper. Here we give them names. The ant is called Auntie Anthea and the grasshopper is called Gentle Geoffrey. Anthea and Geoffrey. Okay, these two characters of the story. The name of the story is Auntie Anthea and Gentle Geoffrey. This is written by Sally Burt. Okay. So you all are now quite acquainted with grasshoppers being quite lazy and wasting their time in the summer, right? Yes, of course. So here, Geoffrey the grasshopper, he is also one of the kind. He used to occupy himself by singing in the summer breeze. Okay, he used to sing, and Aunt Anthea used to love every song of his, so the grasshopper Geoffrey would sing, and that would encourage Aunt Anthea to do the cooking and cleaning, okay, and storing for food for winter. Okay, so this was all good for the summers. Now when winter approached, the music of the grasshopper calmed down and the grasshopper grew frail. Okay, there was no food for the grasshopper, there was no shelter to go. While Aunt Anthea, she was well fed and she was warm. One day she thought to herself, what if I try this grasshopper for my meal? I'm sure he would be a tasty treat. I have tried on insects, so why not Geoffrey? So she has her plans in her mind. She walks up to Geoffrey, who is freezing, in the cold out. As she approaches towards Geoffrey, Geoffrey exclaims, "What happened, Auntie? What made you come here in the cold?" So the aunt Anthea said, "I was thinking that, if you stay here in the out, you would turn into a block of ice. Why don't you come inside my house? I would love to have you as a tenant in my house." And when I thought of a tenant, who could be more delightful, other than you? So Geoffrey thought, what did he was shivering. Delicious, what? No. Come inside. You can at least have some supper in my home. Come inside for a bit. What bit? Then, and auntie, with in a kind of irritation, he said, just come inside. So he dragged Geoffrey inside, okay, and laid him in front of the fire, okay, and licked her lips at the idea of her lunch, her supper that is to follow. Geoffrey, with every minute, he turned warm. So, revived by the warmth, he smiled winningly and said to Aunt Anthea, "Aunt Anthea, the ants said something very mean about you, but I think you are very kind. What about me repaying your kindness? What do you want me to do to repay this kindness of yours of bringing me home, giving me the warmth?" As Aunt was about to say something, Geoffrey said, "I would rather sing for your supper than be your supper." So he started singing. Soon, Aunt Anthea realized it's a better idea to have the grasshopper Geoffrey with her to give him company while she cooks and she cleans. it would, in that way, it would entertain her guests too. So she thought about it, and now don't you think that's a giant leap for Antkind? Yeah, Antkind here, as I told you, as a in fable, uh, animals are given human touches, so mankind becomes Antkind. All right. Now that you have read, you have listened to the story, you will also read through it in your book. Let us summarize a few details of the story, and let's get ready to give a group presentation. All right. Summarize. Use these notes and questions to summarize the story. What are Anthea and Geoffrey like? What are their talents? Well, Anthea is an ant, okay, who has insects, who feeds on insects, and Geoffrey is a grasshopper. What are their talents? Geoffrey is a very good is very good in singing, while Aunt Anthea is very good in cleaning and cooking. What does Anthea intend for Geoffrey at first? She wanted to, eat Geoffrey at first. What does she say that made Geoffrey reluctant to go with her? She said that who would be better than you for a delicious tenant? And then she said delightful. That made Geoffrey reluctant. What shows that Geoffrey knows what Anthea is planning? When Geoffrey was warmed by the fire, he smiled to himself. He thought of something and he smiled winningly. That made us realize that Geoffrey knows what Anthea is planning. Okay? Because now he's revived. He's capable of thinking. What do you think of his solution to the problem? Well, of course, he loved singing. So did and he enjoy to listen. So she offered Aunt Anthea a partner, a singing partner, so that she can go about her course. He will keep her company by singing. What is the twist in the tale? Well, Aunt Anthea had everything set. He would taste Geoffrey for her supper. But then the grasshopper realized that, and he suggested, why don't the aunt keep him as a company? This is the twist in the tale. What lesson does this fable teach? Once again, as the earlier one, you should always plan for your future when the time is there. Okay? And you should always use your brain. Even at the times when you are frail or something, you should use your brain. Think twice. You should never go off your wisdom at any cost. Which version of the story do you prefer and why? The ant and the grasshopper, or this one? Aunt Anthea and the gentle Geoffrey. Give your group presentation. Okay. Now, see this language focus box below. Okay. How to write a dialogue. Use inverted commas when you have to write a speech, and a comma after the inverted comma ends, not a full stop, when that is followed by said somebody. And don't use capital letters after the comma. When a new person speaks, start a new line. Okay, always start your sentences with a capital letter, and use exclamation marks, question marks, full stop, comma wherever necessary. Okay, now go through the story and the dialogues. Okay, do you think the punctuation marks have been used in a proper way, in a correct manner? Look at these pictures. A sentence has been written in each bubble. Give the correct punctuation marks in each of these sentences in the bubble. All right, now extend the story. Now is the time to use your imagination. Extend the story. Continue the conversation between Aunt Anthea and gentle Geoffrey. After Geoffrey finishes singing, after he offers her to be to remain there as a singing company, What did Anthea, what Aunt Anthea might have said? Yeah, continue the conversation. Write 2 or more things for each character. 1, 2 or more things for Aunt Anthea and 2 or more things for Gentle Geoffrey, the grasshopper. Keep the dialogue in character. Use correct punctuation. Use descriptive verbs in place of said, asked, or replied. Read out only dialogues. Do a dramatic reading of the dialogues in the story, with expressions and all. Use the narrative to help you understand how to put across ideas about your character. You can also be a narrator and use your ideas. Okay? So, we have read how to use the punctuation marks properly in a dialogue that's happening between the characters. We have learned to extend our dialogues, extend a conversation. We have learned how important the settings, the characters and plots are to a story. Okay, we have also learned the grammatical part of it. Okay, the nouns, verbs, adjectives, in the new words, the vocabulary. You have to extend your vocabulary with each and every story. You have to extend your vocabulary. That will help you in writing a story of your own. You will get introduced to a new horizon of words. You can experiment with words. The more you read, the more you get to know of new words, the more enriched your writing becomes. With this, we will end today's video, but I will leave a task. What is your task? Imagine a conversation happening between you and your best friend. Any kind of conversation, anything. Write out the conversation with correct punctuation marks wherever necessary. Okay, in your notebooks, and show it to me in the class. Alright? So that's for today. Enjoy. Keep safe. Okay, we'll meet in the next class. Bye-bye.